Now, the head of the schools watchdog has launched an attack on parents who don't read to their children. Ofsted Chief Sir Michael Wilshaw has called for mums and dads to be fined if they don't help with their kids' education. He wants head teachers to confront bad parents and be given powers to take action against them. Nick Gibb is a former education minister and Geraldine Bedell is from the parenting website The Parent Zone. Good evening to you both. I'm sure you both agree that reading to your children is a good idea, but Nick, how would you police parents who don't do it?
Well, I don't think Sir Michael really intended to say that all parents should be fined. I think he's been deliberately provocative so that we debate this issue on programmes like Channel 5 News. Because reading to your children is very important. It increases their vocabulary, it gets them used to reading books. And actually, I think parents should also encourage their children to read for themselves every night. Children who read at least 15 minutes a night over their school career are getting the equivalent of an extra year's education compared with those children that don't. So reading is important at home and being read to, because they can be read books that are more challenging than the books they can actually read themselves.
Geraldine, is it provocative or just unnecessary in your view?
Well, I think it's both provocative and unnecessary. I think the overwhelming majority of parents really love their children and they want to do the best by their children. And if they're not doing this, the idea that they should be fined is not very helpful. It's counterproductive. Parents who are not helping their children in this way need support and not to be stigmatised.
But Sir Michael himself was ahead and a very successful one at that, and he said he would tell parents if they were being bad parents, not if they weren't reading, but if they were missing parents' evenings, not getting involved in school, that sort of thing. So clearly he thinks more carrot and less stick is the right approach.
Well, perhaps what he means there is that he's explaining to parents what would be really effective. The idea that parents are more interested in money than they are in looking after their children is ridiculous, and reading to children is a really lovely thing to do. And if parents are not doing it, we have to ask why parents are not doing it. And they're not doing it because they don't care about their children. They're not doing it for other reasons. And one of the really shameful facts about Britain is that 20% of pupils leave school functionally illiterate. And I suspect those are the parents who are not actually reading to their children. And why would they? Because if the education system has failed you, why would you think that it's going to do any better for your own children?
So the cycle of illiteracy continues, Nick. That really is the problem here, isn't it? It's not the problem that they're bad parents. They're just probably bad readers themselves.
That may be the case for some parents, and it is outrageous that 1 in 5 parents are functionally illiterate, and we have to do something about that, which is why the government has introduced the phonic check. So this week, every 6-year-old in this country is being tested for their basic reading skills so that we can encourage schools to use systematic synthetic phonics in the teaching of reading. That's how you eliminate illiteracy, and the government is absolutely committed to that, as is Sir Michael Wilshaw.
But parents, good and perhaps not so good, will be looking at this and thinking there's a bit of political one-upmanship going on here between the Education Secretary, Michael Gove, who yesterday was asking for milk to be brought back into schools for free for children. And today, Michael Wilshaw, the head of Ofsted, saying, I want to fine parents. Why are they sort of sparring like this over what's best for our children?
Well, they're both very passionate about education. So Michael Wilshaw headed Mossbourne Academy for many years, a superb school in the most deprived part of England. And Michael Gove is well known to be absolutely passionate about raising academic standards in our schools so that we have a school system where young people leave school fully literate and also able to compete for jobs in the global jobs market. So that's why they're both very passionate.
Thank you both very much indeed, both very passionate as well.